Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, December the 6th. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our subject tonight will be on nerves, and we do discuss a natural protocol. And so we have an FDA disclaimer, and my lovely wife generally reads that. Do you have that for us, hon?
I sure do. And this disclaimer says these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. Any products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. This presentation is not intended to provide diagnosis, treatment, or medical advice. Products, services, information, and other content provided in this presentation, including information that may be provided in this presentation directly or by linking to third-party websites, are provided for informational purposes only, and we recommend that you contact your favorite health care physician. And David, I noticed it says in here that we're going to be looking for information to help us naturally, and that's why we have to read that statement.
That is correct. It is required by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Please like and subscribe down below, and there'll be some information in the notes, including our company website and our email and phone number, so you can get a hold of us. Also included there now is the Zoom link for this presentation. So any Tuesday you can come on with us 6 Central Time, 6 p.m. Central, and join us in person. You can ask questions also. We'd be happy to answer those. Now, as I said, our presentation tonight is about nerves, glutathiones, nerves, and the nervous system disorders. Here we have a representation of the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, all the way from your brain to the tip of your spinal cord there. Shows basically how the brain controls the lungs and the eyes, the digestive system and everything. But nerves, even though we often liken nerves to electric cords, as you can see in this diagram, they're much, much more complex than electrical cords. It's more like a bundle of computer network cables, all in a very sophisticated bundle. Carries your sympathetic nervous system, your parasympathetic, your motor nerves, your sensory nerves. All of that is included in this complex little bundle of nerves and blood vessels, which keeps our bodies controlled and working properly. Here we see on the right, we have a couple of nerve cells, neurons, and how they interact with each other. And we see a diagram on the left side, and notice the myelin sheath there on the lower section. You see it's in sections. It's not like our electric cords where they're completely encased in insulation. The myelin sheath is actually in sections that go down the nerve axon and insulate it from the outside environment, but it also lets it interact with the outside environment all the way down to the nerve endings and up to the synapses. So it's a very complex cellular system that is our nervous system, and also our brains. Our brains are made up of neurons as well, with thousands and thousands of connections. Looking through the National Institute of Health, their website at pubmed.gov, we see 2,623 articles if you just do a search on glutathione and nerve. And that was as of this morning. They started in 1961 doing research on nerves with glutathione. Interest started picking up in 1998 with 82 articles, peaked out at 2005 with 149 articles that year. Last year, there were 96 articles on the interaction of glutathione and the nervous system, and that includes nervous system disorders, damage to the nerves, all kinds of issues regarding the nerves. And you see there on the lower left, glutathione is our master antioxidant. It's a key part of our redox physiology, our hormone production, energy production, our immune system, and our cellular proliferation. That is the cells dividing and replacing each other as we grow. And in doing my research for this, I found that there's a lot of benefits for glutathione within the nervous system. It controls inflammation, and that keeps pain down. It also prevents oxidative damage to the cells and to the fats and proteins that make up our neurons and most of our brain. It regulates apoptosis, which is the programmed cell death. So when a cell gets too old, gets too much damage to continue to function, it dies. And this process is regulated by glutathione. It also regulates the synthesis of the DNA and the repair of the DNA. It also regulates mitochondrial function. There's our energy, our cellular energy that drives our bodies. It also regulates the activity, the functioning of the neurons themselves, and it stabilizes the cell membranes for all of the cells in our bodies. We have a few articles I looked up. This one was very interesting. Vagus nerve stimulation alleviates hepatic ischemia and reperfusion injury by regulating glutathione production and transformation. Now, in this study, they wanted to see if stimulating the vagus nerve with electrical stimulation would have any effect on ischemia and reperfusion injury when blood was released back into the liver. And what they found out is that, yes, indeed, it does. And then they did more research on why it does it. And what they found out is that vagus nerve stimulation increased plasma levels of glutathione and glutathione peroxidase. They found that stimulating the vagus nerve, so vagus nerve stimulation, alleviated these issues by upregulating glutathione production. So the body knows what it needs. So when your vagus nerve is in charge of regulating glutathione production, and so when this injury, they did this with surgery to the liver, they found that it actually can increase the amount of glutathione in your liver and prevent a lot of the damage that happens in surgeries. Here's another one: Wallerian degeneration and hyperalgesia after peripheral nerve injury are glutathione dependent. This one also is very interesting. They used a glutathione precursor, N-acetylcysteine, or NAC, as you might find it online or at the grocery store. And they note that N-acetylcysteine, or cysteine itself, is a rate-limiting component of glutathione production. So if you don't have enough cysteine in your system, you can't produce enough glutathione. And they noted that by administering N-acetylcysteine, 1 day prior to doing a compression injury on the spinal cord, that the glutathione production sorry, I lost my word there. The NAC treatment increased the glutathione levels and helped to reduce the post-operative injury on the spinal cord and the nervous system. So they noticed here that delaying administration to the day after the surgery, it still increased the glutathione production, decreased hyperalgesia, but not significantly, where they noted that if you did this before the surgery, it was a significant increase in glutathione production and a significant decrease in the hyperalgesia. And they note that this study identifies the glutathione levels and presumably the oxidative stress caused by not having enough glutathione as the important determinants of neuropathological and behavioral consequences of nerve injury. So it works if you raise glutathione after the injury, but it's much, much better if you have enough glutathione in your system before the injury happens. Here we have another one on brain disorders or nervous system disorders, glutathione in brain disorders and aging. And they noted that glutathione is remarkably functional molecule, has many functions in the body, and they include being an antioxidant, the regulator of your DNA synthesis and repair, protector of the thiol groups, which is other amino acids and proteins, also stabilizes cell membranes, and it detoxifies your body of xenobiotics. Impaired glutathione function in the brain, they say, is linked to the loss of neurons during the aging process or as a result of neurological disease, noting Huntington's disease, Parkinson's, stroke, Alzheimer's, and others. And they highlight the signaling cascades that are in the glutathione process in the neurons and the glia, and note that it functions as a neuronal regulator in the homeostasis and metabolism. And their study was to put the role of glutathione in its proper perspective for the doctors who read this article. And here we have another one, glutathione, oxidative stress, and neurodegeneration. Again, significant evidence that pathogenesis of several neurodegenerative diseases, including Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, Friedreich's ataxia, ALS, and many others, may be involved in the generation of reactive oxygen species, or in other papers you'll see that listed as ROS, and mitochondrial dysfunction. And they reviewed evidence for the disturbance of glutathione homeostasis, that is the oxidized glutathione being higher than the reduced glutathione. And they say this may either lead to or be a result of the oxidative stress in these neurodegenerative disorders. And note that the important role of glutathione as proposed for the pathogenesis of Parkinson's disease, and they noted several studies on glutathione and Parkinson's disease in the notes on this article. Because glutathione does not cross the blood-brain barrier as a complete molecule, they're looking at other treatments to increase brain concentrations of glutathione, including glutathione analogs, mimetics, or what we discuss here, precursors. So there's a lot of articles, very interesting reading if you're into it. And here we have a model of our glutathione molecule, and most of the magic happens right there in the middle where that little yellow is. That's the sulfur atom in the cysteine molecule, which is the center of the three peptides, glutamate, glycine, and cysteine. And I like to point to this article on a website called examine.com. You can look that up, examine.com. They examine a lot of these articles found in the public domain. And they say that although critical for a number of processes, that is glutathione, has limited use as a dietary supplement. Because why? As a rapid breakdown in the digestive system. And so does the cysteine itself. The N-acetylcysteine ingested orally, you get less than 10% to your cells. So that's why we look at precursors to get more of the cysteine into the cells where it does it the most good. So they note that supplementation, though it's thought to support the pool of glutathione in your cells, there is some absorption of glutathione intact in the intestines, but it is quickly broken down by the enzymes in the digestive system. So orally supplementing glutathione or cysteine is not a really good, effective method. So what is? Well, we talk about these two products, Immunocal and Immunocal Platinum, and there's a new one called Immunocal Sport. And as you see on the box there, it says glutathione precursor. That's exactly what these doctors were talking about. To get glutathione into the cells in your brain, you need to take something other than whole glutathione. And that's why they were looking at glutathione precursors. And this one is marvelous at what it does in allowing the glutathione in your cells, in your brain, in your nervous system to be increased by natural production. And as the note says there, clinically proven to increase intracellular GSH or glutathione levels and help maintain a healthy immune system, reducing oxidative stress. Over 45 years of research, over 400 scientific articles on these products, and many patents worldwide to support the claims on what they do. And we were going to have somebody on tonight to talk about their experience with the nervous system.
Well, actually, she's been trying to get in. I just didn't want to interrupt you.
Okay.
I apparently don't have a host or so you'll have to look at that. And while you're doing that, I would like to let y'all know that you do need to know someone to purchase this amazing product. And we have a team that is very happy to help. And all you need to do is email us, and that information is below the video. And we will help you every step of the way, answer your questions, and teach you how to use it, and help you all the way. And we're very happy to do that. We'd like to ask you to like and subscribe and share this video, please.
Let me see if I can contact her again.
Well, we're being recorded, so let's go ahead and end this call, and then we'll just put the interview up below.
Okay, we can certainly do that. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight and listening to our presentation. If you have any questions, get a hold of us. Again, the information down below. Like and subscribe so you get notified on all of our new videos that we put up here. Thank you very much again, and have a wonderful evening. We will see you next time.